Well, hello everyone. You have right here of talking about understanding about simple meanings of talk about for handshake right here. What does it usually mean whenever people shake hands after a conversation? It can maybe even be at the beginning of a conversation of some kind. But talk about right here for ask and choice right here. And you want to know too is toward it. Whenever you do start a conversation with anybody, it sure seems that way toward it. You go ahead and start out the conversation by saying a simple hi. You say hi right here. Nice talking to you. And then if you want to start talking about things or maybe start guessing some things. But let's just say that if you start out the conversation by saying hello right here. And so, why do you think that for most conversations, though, is to where that you go ahead and start a conversation, and then that you go ahead and start out with the conversation by a simple handshake right here, saying, "Hey, you know, how you doing?" or something like that. And so yeah, let's talk about for ask and choice right here. So it sure seems that way to where that whenever you do interact with somebody, a lot of times that it sure seems that way toward it. Yeah, you start a conversation with somebody, right? And you begin to learn toward it. Most of the time, whenever you do guess an answer to something, or maybe if you're just getting some common sense about something, you ask a question, and maybe if you make a few points or something like that, but still, that the talk about typical gesture right here. I'll talk about how people correspond, what the reaction is for any conversations that you do have with somebody. And you begin to learn toward, okay, yeah, the conversations I'm talking about are toward that you actually look at this person in the eye and start talking to them about something. And then, yeah. And then they started, you shake your hand and then you start a conversation by saying, how things are going and all that, or something like that, or what's your opinion about this or that, like a survey, right? Like a survey. And so basically, you start a conversation with this person right here, and let's just say that, yeah, you go ahead and start a conversation with somebody right here, and maybe by asking a few questions, and let's just say that you go by saying this toward ask and choice right here. So why do you think that those would be two separate, like, yeah, you ask the questions, but what the choice would be is toward it, well, okay, the choice would pretty much mean is toward that you are, you know, you're providing your opinion about something. You may not agree on that opinion, but you're pretty much providing that opinion. But still, that the choice pretty much means is toward it. You decide what happens next after that conversation, right? You decide to where to, okay, yeah, are you going to go ahead and listen to the person, or are you just going to walk away and just ignore them, or whichever it is? But still, whenever it comes to understanding people, and you want to know too that, yeah, nice talking to you, and then you guess the answer right here. But talk about right here. Let's just say that the question kind of goes by as toward it, okay, tickets to the game. How do you get tickets to the game? Or if it's maybe, did you get tickets to the game? Or do you know how to get tickets to the game, or something like that? So whenever you do start a conversation with anybody, it sure seems that way. That yeah, the first thing that you're gonna maybe say is, "Oh, hey, hello, how are you doing today?" or something like that. You're gonna start out the conversation by, "Hello," and maybe you're gonna maybe say something like, you're gonna go ahead and just guess. Okay, yeah. So how should I handle this here? If you want to ask somebody a question, or maybe if you just want to ask them how they're doing, or how should I do this, or something like that. So it sure seems that way toward, yeah, well, what's the best way of how to handle that? And let's just say if maybe the question is toward, okay, do you have tickets to the game, or something like that. So every time you do think about that is toward, yeah, that you should provide a good handshake. And like everybody might say, that if you spend about maybe 5 or 10 minutes talking to somebody about something, and let's just say that the first thing is first is toward it, you go ahead and do a simple handshake right here. But what does that really provide whenever you do have a conversation with anybody, right? You have a conversation with somebody. What's your interactions about that? And I think everybody might even say is toward it. Well, first of all, it goes by as toward by like the timely manner. If somebody takes about maybe 3 minutes to talk to you, at least 3 minutes to talk to you, and gives you the honest opinions, and maybe if they are very clear about answering your questions and all that. And so it sure seems that way, that every time you do think about that, and you're always want to know too, is toward it, yeah, that, why do you think that that's more important than maybe than anything else? Every time you have a conversation with somebody about anything, why do you think that maybe communication is quite important and maybe compared to anything else? In case of anybody's wondering that, whenever you do start a conversation with anybody, what you're doing is you're getting somebody's opinion. You're getting their opinion about something and and what you understand about the situation or something like that. But talk about right here with the typical handshake right here, and somebody might say that yeah, what is it that your hand and engagement has to do with conversations most of the time? What can your hand, what can your emotions really do toward it? Yeah, you talk to somebody, and let's just say that you may not know this person very well, but still you talk to them, and let's just say that you get you spread some common sense to them and all that. But still, that a lot of times it sure seems that way, that whenever you do start any source of conversation with anybody, that it sure seems that way, that yeah, I've been there and I've done that, so that's why that I would like to provide my honest opinion about that. Or yeah, you ask questions and I'll go ahead and give you my best advice and all that. But still, that you begin to wonder that if you were to actually record that on a transcript, though, it sure seems that way, that every time you think about that and you're wondering toward it, yeah. Can you really think of any source of a solution to how to fix this problem? To where, okay, tickets to the game or something like that. But still, that when we do speak about that, nice talking to you right here, and your word toward, okay, yeah, nice talking to you pretty much means is toward you were asking this person a question right here, but then, yeah, and most of the time, though, most of the time that pretty much means that it makes feel more confident. It makes them feel more confident with handling the situation, right? So in case if anybody's wondering toward it, you talk to somebody and get their opinion about something, and you begin to learn toward it. Yeah, whenever you do talk to somebody about something that maybe shows a concern, or maybe if it is something that that's on your mind and you would like to just talk about, you just like, so that way you can kind of ease your mind with anything that you're concerned about. And so like, let's just say that, yeah, it could be concert tickets too. It could be tickets to the concert or something like that. But still, that making the person feel a little bit more comfortable with okay, what should I do? And most of the time that's usually the case. What should I do? Okay, what should I do? Yeah, what should I do right here? And a lot of times that's usually the question right there. A lot of times that's usually the concern right there. Okay, what should I do? Well, if you want my advice, then do some research, or like say that, yeah, a lot of times it's ask right here. Ask that yeah, that so whenever you do start any conversation with anybody, for sure, ask with a smile. Yeah, ask with confidence. which I put that right there. But yeah, ask with confidence. So what are the words that we can use here whenever it comes to the simple handshake right here? That yeah, that it's known as toward it. Yeah, you understand that the how it was handled. Start out with how the conversations were handled. And in case of anybody's wondering that yeah, start out with how it was handled, and so you begin to warn toward okay, yeah, that start out with how it was handled, right there, and you warn toward okay, yeah, the way it was handled right there, and yeah. So pretty much that is toward it, yeah. Do you have to ask properly or nicely, or does it just take us toward it? Yeah. You want to guess the answer, or you just want to ask uh, a question toward it? Yeah, I've been there and I've done that a lot of times, and and I think everybody might say that. Yeah, I've been there, and most of the time that's usually the situation, right? That's usually the situation there toward it. Yeah, I've been there. I've been there to where the fact that yeah, I've been there. I've been in that situation to where that if you needed some guidance or some advice, from somebody, or just just to talk to somebody about something, but still that why do you think anybody might even say that you feel a little bit more confident with taking care of something important just by that you were able to talk to somebody about that. Okay, yeah, if you're trying to look to get get concerts to go to the game or something like that, then you would feel more confidence, and like you said that you would talk to somebody about that. But still, that every time you do think about that, by the way, it sure seems that way that yeah, you walk up to somebody and greet them by saying hi, and then you shake their hand and everything. And so it sure seems that way that why do you think, and like people might even say this, especially if you're going to be looking at them, and it's like yeah, ask and choice right here, and yeah. So a lot of times it's like almost every conversation that you're going to have with anybody, it sure seems that way that yeah, that you talk to somebody about something, and it sure seems that way. That why does that seem like it's so special, and especially if everything works out very well. If you were able to find what you were looking for, and if everything works out very well, then chances are that it's going you're going to feel more confident. Toward it. Okay, yeah, I see now. I see how this works, but. Anyway, but talk about for good confidence whenever it comes to conversations, right?